Okay guys, it's time for another one of these Habs News Updates. And in today's video, we're going to take a look at how Mark Schiefele has become public enemy number 1 around here. We'll take a look at the projected lineup for tonight's game against the Calgary Flames. We'll talk about a recent trade with the Flames, and much more. But first, before we begin, if you're a fan of the Habs, or you want to know what Cole Caulfield wore when he went trick-or-treating this year, then please consider subscribing to my channel as I upload a ton of hockey content, and would really enjoy having some more of you grasshoppers tag along for the ride. Now, first up on the list here, let's talk about everybody's favorite Winnipeg Jet, Mark Schiefele. Schiefele is mostly remembered around here for this massive hit on Jake Evans during the playoffs. Bam! He pissed everybody off. Ravioli was in there all upset. Big Papa Shea Weber was very angry, huh? God, kinda makes me miss him. And Schiefele, he looked a little wild here. Not gonna lie, I was a little concerned for his mental health after this little shining incident. But anyway, time went by, and all is forgotten, right? Water under the fridge. Well, not really. Before the game against the Jets a couple of nights ago, the media, they decided to stir up some shit by asking Mark Schiefele about the Evans incident. And Schiefele would say, if Evans wants to fight, I'll fight him. It doesn't matter. Now fast forward a little bit, the Jets would go on to murder the Habs by a score of 8-4, and Chris Weidman, of all people, drops the mitts with Schiefele here. Schiefele throws one punch, misses, and falls to the ice. He gets up, acting like he just beat up Bob Probert or something, and off he goes, probably ready to mix things up with Conor McGregor at this point. And it didn't just end here, because after the game, Josh Anderson would say that him and his mates, no, they were not happy with the way Schiefele handled himself. Anderson would also go on to say that it's a good thing we got to play these guys again this year, so maybe we could see some fireworks. Pin that one down on the calendar, boys, April 11th. And hopefully, if you're going for the fight, we get to see more of a dust-up than, well, that. Gee, what a disgrace of a Gordie Howe hat-trick that was. I've seen better fights in kindergarten. Anyway, speaking of kindergarten, former NHL referee Tim Peel, remember him, would also weigh in on the whole situation. He would say that he's got zero respect for Mark Schiefele, he didn't like the hit against Evans last year, and he would also go on to say that Schiefele is just one of these guys that doesn't have any respect for the officials either. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that is the fight that I want to see in an octagon, okay? Mark Schiefele and Tim Peel in the cage. So there you have it. He's a hell of a player, he's got so much talent, but what do you really think of him? Let me know in the land down under. Moving on, we had a bit of a blockbuster trade happen yesterday, okay, with the Habs receiving future considerations. Wow, it doesn't get any bigger than this, which means pretty much a briefcase full of Lloyd Christmas IOUs. And in exchange, the Flames get Michael McNiven. That's right, McNiven is now the property of the Calgary Flames. He's been in the Habs organization now for several years, but he's kinda slipped backwards just a little. I do wish him all the best with the Flames, but one positive thing that may come out of this is it allows Kent Hughes to free up another roster spot heading towards the trade deadline. Alright, maybe they can use that to their advantage. On to some more news. If you didn't know, Will Farrell has a kid, and he was drafted by the Montreal Canadiens, and he's a hell of a player. His name is Sean, okay, and he's been putting up some pretty nice numbers. He also would join the Americans at the Olympics, and holy crap, he did pretty good. That's the good news, okay? That was all the good, and now the bad news is, he's hurt. Yeah. Ooh, he took a hard hit in one of the first games he played since returning from Beijing, and bam, just like that, he's done. He was down on the ice for a while, he was helped off the ice, and from what I've been reading, he hasn't played since. So let's hope he recovers quickly, because that one looked like it hurt. Definitely some impact to the head there, and the guy probably thought he was riding a reindeer to the hospital after that one. Yeah. In other news, the Canadiens are about to open up the floodgates at the Bell Center. Everybody's going to be allowed in, 100% capacity coming right at you. That sounds awesome, that's good stuff. I can't read French, but I'm pretty sure this says it's coming into effect on the 12th of March, okay? The countdown begins. Meanwhile, on the road, the Habs are set to play against the Calgary Flames tonight, and rigatoni head Tyler Toffoli Ravioli is gonna be there. God! missed them already. Apparently him and Caulfield are going to be going to supper together tonight because I guess Caulfield owes him a dinner. And tonight we do have some minor changes to the Habs roster. Marty St. Louis decided to, do some tinkering, and here's what we got. Andrew Hammond, the burglar, is going to be back in net, probably giving Montembeault a little rest and some time, to untwist his jockstrap after last night's game. That was rough. And also, we got Michael Pezzetta, Sheriff Woody himself, getting back into the lineup, while Matthew Perreault is a healthy scratch. Now, the Flames, they've got a tough team, okay? And Michael Pezzetta is doing anything to stay into the lineup. Don't be surprised if he does something stupid tonight and, maybe kicks Monahan in the balls and drops the gloves with Lucic. And remember, if he does drop the gloves with Lucic, you heard it here first. So, before we take a look at the little bit of trade chatter that's been going on, I just wanted to point out that Tyler Pitlick, the man, the myth, the legend, that was brought in here from Calgary, for the whole ravioli exchange, has finally arrived in Montreal and he's training back there. So, pretty soon, we may have a duo of Pitlicks in the lineup, and ain't that gonna be something? There's so many of these guys. Now, believe it or not, the trade chatter surrounding the Habs over the past week has kind of quieted down, okay? Because it's mostly just regurgitated diarrhea that's already been spewed in the past. But, according to thefourthperiod.com, it's not likely that the Flyers are going to be able to acquire Jeff Petrie anymore, alright? The hype was there for 2 hours, and now it's gone. He's too pricey, okay? He costs too much money right now. And they say that while the Flyers did kick the tires on Petrie once, those talks have kind of died off. They would mention, though, that the Dallas Stars are still a team that's very interested in Jeff Petrie, but it almost sounds like a Petrie trade is most likely to happen during the offseason. And if he does somehow continue playing well throughout the remainder of the year, then that's definitely going to make things a lot easier. Anyway, guys, that does it for this video. Don't forget to scratch the skin off of the thumb of that like button on the way out of here. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section, and hey, I'll see you next time.